Will the J-10CE soar over South Asia again? Will Bangladesh's skies soon welcome China's mighty dragon? As defense news in the US and Pakistan's Business Standard successively reported this development, even China's influential Global Times published related coverage on October 9, 2025. This collective reporting by authoritative media outlets makes it hard to dismiss this arms deal as mere speculation. The origins of this development trace back to March this year. During a visit to China by Bangladesh's chief advisor to the caretaker government, the delegation first expressed interest in acquiring multi-role fighters during talks with relevant Chinese authorities. Encouragingly, China responded positively to this proposal. This positive signal was swiftly translated into concrete action domestically. Last month, Bangladesh Air Force Chief of Staff Lieutenant General Hasan Mahmud Khan formally announced that the interim government had approved in principle the purchase of multi-role combat aircraft along with new ground-to-air missiles and long-range radar systems. To advance this substantial procurement initiative, the Bangladesh government established an 11-member interministerial committee in April 2025, personally led by the Air Chief Marshal, to oversee negotiations and finalize the agreement. According to the disclosed procurement plan, the details of this arms sale are remarkably comprehensive. The Bangladesh Air Force plans to procure 20 J-10CE fighters at a total cost of approximately $2.2 billion. The composition of this funding is quite deliberate. Approximately $1.2 billion covers the procurement cost of the fighter jets themselves, averaging $60 million per aircraft. The remaining $1 billion will be allocated to supporting weapons systems, pilot training, spare parts inventory, and comprehensive logistical support services. Of particular note is the payment arrangement, which will be made in installments over a 10-year period, with full settlement expected by the mid-2030s. This structure accommodates Bangladesh's fiscal capacity, averaging annual expenditures of over $200 million to ensure a manageable financial burden. Regarding the timeline, Bangladesh aims to formally sign the government-to-government contract in 2026. Upon contract finalization, preparatory work will commence immediately, constructing essential ground support facilities for the J-10CE and initiating systematic training for pilots and ground crew. According to the plan, the first batch of aircraft is expected to be delivered between late 2027 and early 2028. All 20 fighters are scheduled for delivery by 2030 and will be deployed at the Bangladesh Bay coastal air bases in Chittagong and Barisal. This timeline aligns closely with Bangladesh's 2030 force goal, reflecting the urgency of its defense modernization. So what drives Bangladesh's urgency in this procurement? The answer lies in the dire state of its air force. Currently, Bangladesh's main combat aircraft consist of 8 Soviet-era MiG-29 twin-engine fighters and approximately 4 Chinese-made J-7 series single-engine light fighters. These aircraft are outdated and obsolete, with the J-7 series lacking even the most fundamental beyond visual range attack capability essential for modern air combat. Across South Asia, the Indian Air Force not only possesses a large fleet, but has also progressively acquired fourth-and-a-half-generation fighters like Francis Rafale. Myanmar's Air Force has similarly enhanced its capabilities in recent years by introducing the China-Pakistan jointly developed JF-17 Thunder fighter. By comparison, the Bangladesh Air Force's overall combat capability is indeed relatively weak, with an urgent need for modernization. The J-10CE selection as Bangladesh's top choice hinges on its outstanding performance and exceptional cost-effectiveness. The assessment by the director of the U.S. Air Force's China Aerospace Research Institute is particularly representative, who considers the J-10C a modern fighter with remarkably capable performance. More importantly, this fighter has withstood the brutal test of combat. During the 2025 Indo-Pakistani air battle, the Pakistan Air Force achieved the feat of shooting down 3 Indian Rafale fighters using the J-10CE. This real-world performance speaks louder than any brochure. Pakistani pilots who participated in the conflict praised the J-10CE, calling it a supercomputer with wings capable of supersonic flight. They were particularly impressed by the agility of its all-electric fly-by-wire control system and the formidable capabilities of its onboard active phased array radar, a system capable of simultaneously tracking 10 targets and engaging 4 of them, a critical advantage in modern aerial combat. The weapon system's advantages are equally noteworthy. The J-10CE can be equipped with PL-15E air-to-air missiles boasting a range exceeding 200 kilometers, enabling it to launch attacks beyond the defensive perimeter of enemy early warning aircraft and tankers. Compared to the AIM-120 missiles used by the US F-16V, this advantage is quite significant. Additionally, the J-10CE boasts relatively low operational and maintenance costs. Its high availability and intelligent maintenance diagnostics have earned it praise for simplified servicing. Pakistani pilots specifically noted that the aircraft's self-monitoring systems make maintenance exceptionally straightforward, translating to faster redeployment capabilities and higher battlefield survivability during combat. For Bangladesh, selecting the J-10CE also facilitates seamless integration into its existing defense framework. Chinese equipment constitutes a substantial 72% of Bangladesh's military inventory, second only to Pakistan's. Its navy operates Chinese Type 035 submarines and Type 053 frigates, while its army deploys numerous Chinese-made tanks and air defense systems. Reflecting a long-standing friendly military trade partnership with China, this continuity extends beyond equipment systems to encompass personnel training, logistic support, and deeply integrated operational doctrines. The J-10CE can seamlessly integrate with Bangladesh's existing Chinese-made ZDK-03 early warning aircraft and HQ-9B air defense systems, forming a complete, early warning interception defense kill chain. From a fiscal perspective, this deal is also feasible for Bangladesh. With an annual defense budget of approximately $5 billion supporting a 140,000-strong military, the Air Force receives about $2 billion. The $2.2 billion contract, spread over 10 years, averages annual expenditures of just over $200 million, keeping fiscal pressure relatively manageable. Considering it will fundamentally bridge the generational gap in its air power, this investment undoubtedly offers high cost effectiveness. Of course, we must not overlook the deeper strategic and geopolitical considerations behind this arms sale. Bangladesh shares borders with India to the east, west, and north, and with Myanmar to the southeast. This unique geographic position fuels its strong desire for defense autonomy. Previously, former Prime Minister Hasina resigned amid political turmoil and fled to India. The interim government harbored concerns that India might support Hasina's political comeback. Strengthening military cooperation with China is viewed as a strategic choice to balance regional influence and safeguard national security. However, we must also recognize that uncertainties remain regarding this deal. Domestic opinions in Bangladesh differ on which new fighter jet to procure. Previously, options considered included Europe's Typhoon fighter, Sweden's Gripen fighter, or the China-Pakistan jointly developed FC-1 Block 3 fighter. The currently disclosed $2.2 billion procurement plan remains in the early stages of negotiation, with specific terms requiring multiple rounds of discussions between China and Bangladesh to finalize. Even if the procurement proceeds smoothly, the Bangladesh Air Force will require time to fully master the J-10CE's capabilities. Pakistan's ability to maximize the fighter's combat effectiveness stems from years of sustained investment and deep cooperation with China. Bangladesh will similarly need technical support from China, including pilot conversion training, ground maintenance system development, and integration of data links with existing equipment. From a broader perspective, should this deal ultimately materialize, it would mark a significant milestone for China's high-end military equipment exports. It signifies that following Pakistan, the J-10CE has successfully opened its second overseas market, demonstrating that China's fourth-and-a-half-generation fighter has gained international recognition. This holds profound significance for the globalization of China's defense industry, and will also drive a reshuffling of the air power landscape in South Asia.